repost it. Just repost it. Right? Just says yeah. Yeah.
I should be recording. Should be working, I believe. No. Excellent. Well, welcome everybody to the AMA, first AMA of Grape Finance. Look, I'm gonna have to like I turn that off. Bro, come on. I'm just gonna kick you, bro. Yeah, try not be annoying. All right, welcome to Grape Finance AMA. First one, we'll probably be doing, well, we will be doing weekly ones. This probably won't be the regular time. I don't know, we'll figure that out. We're flexible with that. And we may or may not continue on Zoom. I don't know. So maybe we go to Twitch or something like that. I don't know, we'll see how we go, but we'll make sure to do an AMA at least once a week, keep everyone updated, keep the community together. So, well, I guess we'll start with a recap of what's happened so far. So we launched about 3 weeks ago now. So it's funny how like it feels like a long time, but also a short period of time. Yeah. So shouldn't be any audio. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so we just do a recap. We may do it on Discord. I don't know, can you record the AMAs on Discord? Because that's kind of like the main thing. And I want to do some screen sharing as well. I don't know if you can do that on Discord. If you can, well, then we'll do that. It'd be easier. Yeah, recap. We had the launch Genesis about 3 weeks ago now, and we're on okay, no worries, that's fine. We may do Twitch then. I don't know, we'll see how we go. Anyway, we're on Epoch 70 now, which is pretty good. It's already quite a while has gone past. Things are going well, things are going smoothly. And we've already done a reasonable amount, I think. Achieved a decent amount so far. You know, we're the first 3 weeks is always that, you know, the period of high volatility. you got a lot of speculators that come in for the very high APRs in the beginning, and then they leave and move on to the next project. But the high APRs aren't sustainable long term, really. So once we drop to the a reasonable APR, which is kind of where we are now, it's in a more sustainable position at the moment, which is good. So we've come out of that initial Genesis hype and come down to a floor, so to say, and now we can continue to move forward and upwards from here. So we're in a good position right now. So we've going to just keep working through the roadmap, achieve all this within Q1 pretty soon, actually, and then we'll move on to Q2, hopefully in March at least, if not mid-Feb, and keep moving through this as fast as possible. That's the goal here. But yeah, part of part of our sort of strategy is to partner with a lot of other groups, other protocols, other projects, other exciting things in the DeFi space, because that then can bring different communities together, expose our product, our platform to other niches in the area that probably would have never even heard about Toonforks. Like, for instance, the Asgard partnership we did this week, I think was a pretty good move. Is actually really good for us, and good for them as well. They have a large community, and it's more in the GameFi space. So a lot of them wouldn't even know about Toonforks, surprisingly. So it's good to expose them to Toonforks and expose our community to a GameFi a DAO as well. And I think it was a good partnership to loop in, make some sort of use case for wine, where you can pledge the wine and lock it in Asgard, and then you can get AMP, and which is interest bearing, and then stake it here to earn more wine, and then you can loop it in again, and you'll boost your APRs. So I think one of the goals we're going to be doing, or one of the main things we're going to be focusing on, is more partnerships like that, where we can make a use case for both of our tokens, Grape and Wine, and also bring new people in as well, expose the platform to new people, expose our community to new platforms as well, and boost APRs for everybody involved as well. So that's kind of like one of the main things we'll be focusing on as part of the launch pad for new projects that are launching, and also partnerships with projects that already exist and already have a good following and a good roadmap going on. So I'm pretty happy with how that worked this week, and also got on Beefy this week, so I was pretty happy with that. It's not that easy to get on Beefy, really. It's not as if they just list anyone. So I think we're like one of the only Toonforks on AVAX on Beefy. So that's actually pretty good. I'm very pleased with that. Thanks to Nick for sorting that out. And also thanks to Nick for the partnership with Asgard as well. We're working on some new partnerships with some other groups as well. You can see we did a giveaway with Miniverse, which is a new Toonfork coming out on Phantom, with NFT staking, more of a GameFi thing as well. We'll be working, I know the dev there, so we'll be working hopefully a bit more closer with them in the near future. It's cross-chain, it's always a little bit hard to do things seamlessly, but we can do things like whitelists and giveaways, and he was thinking about bridging to Avalanche and making some game there, so we can integrate Grape and Wine into that as well in the future. And also we're talking to another NFT staking protocol, Spartans. Like you see, we just did giveaway with them today for some grape and wine, and they'll give away some of the NFTs to our community. So I think that is one of the main things we'll be focusing on too. It's somewhat of like a marketing thing as well, because you're promoting to other protocols that probably have never even heard of us, or even Tomb Forks in general. Like you'd be surprised that Tomb Forks are actually a niche of a niche, you know, uh, in this space. So that, um, because I guess, you know, earning 5% a day or whatnot, just for some people just seems like not realistic at all. So they kind of stay away from it. But that's kind of the idea of what we're going to be doing in terms of the education platform. So we've already done, just yesterday, did the strategies. Thanks to the community members for making these flow charts and the details behind it. So I think because this whole thing really works best when the whole community is on the same page and we all know what to do based on the price or the TWAP of grape, for instance, because then we can keep the rewards coming, we can keep it above peg slightly, and keep everyone happy. If we all work together, that's basically how it works. So if everybody's on, so it's very important that everybody's on the same page, everybody's educated about what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And so, you know, if you guys have any feedback on the strategy flow charts, or maybe new strategies that you think are viable, think are good for the platform protocol, always open to suggestions. We've got the suggestions channel in the Discord that I monitor the Discord all the time. You can tag me in if you want to get my attention straight away. But the other mods are always on it as well. So, you know, I'm always listening to the community, to your feedback, your suggestions, been very helpful so far. And yeah, so I think, yeah, we'll be doing some videos as well. Videos are coming out on videos on the whole process, basically. So for a newcomer completely to DeFi, they can come in and know how to use our platform. Maybe people that have been in the space for a while kind of forget that there's a lot of steps involved in even getting started in DeFi. So, and it can be very confusing for a new person. They have to learn a lot. They have to learn a whole new vocabulary of words that they've never heard about. You know, permanent loss, like MetaMask. You got AVAX chain, BSC chain. You know, Ethereum. Like what are all these different things? So, yeah, we want to do education for a complete newcomer to come in, understand the protocol completely. So they're not just jumping in because they see a 5%, you know, oh, I can earn 5%. It's, you know, there are risks involved and people need to know absolutely what the risks are involved and the best way to use the platform as well. So education is a big thing that we'll be working on in the next, basically for the whole time we'll be doing this. Is education is going to be important, but in the next couple of weeks, we'll be having a whole new bunch of videos coming out to help guide newcomers in and people that just, you know, want some extra advice or some extra help, I guess. So yeah, also so you got the strategies page, and this will just show the current optimal strategy based on the TWAP. And then you've also got the Asgard DAO strategy. If you're coming from Asgard and you already have AMP, this is like a great way. You can boost your APRs with the wine rewards and then loop it back in to Asgard. You can also come to each bank page has a strategy as well based on that vault, just for ease of access, which also updates based on the TWAP. And then in the docs, I've added all the strategies for all the TWAP prices. Just so you know ahead of time. So you know ahead of time what the strategies are. Yeah, Asgard had some drama last night, and the price took a bit of a hit, but they're a good project, and they're still going to deliver on their roadmap. One of the guys, one of the devs left or something, but the main guy is there, the main team is there, and they're going to continue ahead, obviously. So we're going to continue ahead with them as a partner of them, and we can do a lot of things in the future with them as well. So, and we'll be adding other new partnerships as well, depending on what project they have and what they do. It may just be a whitelist, maybe it'll be some staking opportunity. So it's going to depend on the project, obviously, what we can do, but partnership is definitely going to be a big thing. So for the roadmap, already done a reasonable amount, but obviously going to keep powering through this. The Zap, I've actually got, apologies for the delay on this. I've outsourced that to a developer I have, but he has COVID at the moment, so he's a little bit slow with that. But it should be done very soon. So I definitely want that in there because that's definitely helpful. Such a pain adding LPs, adding liquidity to LPs. Strategy is already done. User help guides are coming very soon, in the next week or so. We're going to have some videos, as I mentioned, for this platform specifically. Yeah, we're going to be doing Grape burns every week, obviously, and depending on the TWAP of Grape will be more or less of a burn. And we've added the wine governance in now, so you can soon we'll be adding proposals for voting there. I think one of the main things because the DAO is building up some funds now in MIM, and that will be used for investing in other protocols to diversify revenue streams, bring income from a different platform out to help our platform grow as well. And also, it can be used for partnerships as well with that. So that snapshot, which is up here, will have proposals for where the treasury should invest, and also new features that we're going to add that are maybe that maybe can go both ways. The community will vote on, so we can make sure everybody's on the same page. And we should add I'll add a channel in the Discord for proposals. I think that people can suggest their proposals and can vote on, and then if enough people vote on them, we can add them to the snapshot for actual voting for wine stakers. So okay, yeah, we're going to integrate the raffle very soon. I've already almost actually complete with that now. So that's going to make it nice and easy for people to enter the raffle. Just on the side, it's just a little fun thing. Burn some grape. Encourage people to use their grape for fun. Their earned rewards. NFTs, I've already actually got someone to design some NFTs coming, and they will be there'll be a portion for wine holders, wine stakers in the winery will get at least one NFT if you hold one wine in the winery. And then some of them will be, and then a portion will be sold as well to other people, whoever wants it really. And then we're going to have different tiers. There'll be more details on this coming very soon, but it's going to be like a club access, so to say. You'll get access to everything in the future really that comes with Grape Finance, to do with our game coming out in the next couple of quarters. And also our collateralization platform will have some benefits to NFT holders as well as the wine holders. So everything that we do in the future will be tied in with this platform and with the wine shares and the NFTs that come with that. So it's going to be like a VIP access card, so to say. So yeah, the launchpad and partnerships, we're obviously, we've already done a partnership with Asgard, but we're going to continue to do that very regularly, things like that. And obviously new projects that haven't launched that we find that we really like, we'll add them onto the launchpad specifically. And for that, if it depends on what they do, say if they do an IDO or something, our wine holders, our wine stakers, and as well as the NFT holders, once that drops, will have access to that IDO and allocations for that. But also, depends what project we're partnering with on the launchpad, and depends what they're doing. If they're not doing an IDO, well, then obviously that's not part of it, but there'll be, a whitelist access to our wine holders and NFT holders, or, some sort of unique exclusive staking strategy or something like that. So that's one of the things we're going to be doing to make sure that there's always a strong use case for wine other than just selling, because that's one of the real problems with these algorithmic protocols, is that the rewards, there's really only use for the rewards in selling. And I mean, if the only thing you do is sell, then what's the point? It's just like it just goes to zero eventually. So that's why sustainability is very important. And that's why adding a strong use case and multiple use cases to wine and grape as well is very important for the protocol sustainability. So I'll just go through some of the questions in the AMA on Discord, the AMA channel. So I know the first one, like, all right, we are, I added a security page to the docs. So you can see KYC, audit, and we've also renounced the contract. I've renounced the grape contract. The wine shares contract is not renounced, but there is no mint function on the wine contract. So it's not possible to mint any more wine. So there's really no need to renounce it. There's no difference if I do it. The main one is that the PEG token needs to be renounced, because it's possible for someone that has access to that ownership to mint a large amount of the tokens, as that's a common rug that happens in this space, in the Toonfork space. So we've removed that possibility. Even if someone gets access to that wallet, no more grape can be minted. Only the treasury can mint the grape in accordance with the submission schedule. So yeah, the price has been quite volatile in the last couple of weeks, but it's been 3 weeks since launch, and pretty much every Toonfork goes through that same high volatility in the first 3-4 weeks. And so we just need to ride through it and come out of it. And I think we've ridden through most of it, to be honest. And I think we're on the way out. And I think from here, especially with what we're going to be doing, things should be less volatile and more sustainable once we build out what we need to build out. So with the as with the wine rewards, obviously they last for 370 days. And there's 50,001 wine in total. 41,000 wine is going to those wine rewards in the vineyard, and 4,500 is going to the Dev Fund, and 4,500 is going to the DAO Fund, and both of those are vested over the year as well. So the DAO Fund will be used for partnerships, promotions, partnerships, promotions. For instance, gave a lot of wine to beefy to boost those vaults. We'll be pledging some wine in Asgard to lock it in as well. And the dev fund is used for, obviously development, running costs for people on the team, for their work, for the community as well. And that's another thing for the DAO fund, community giveaways and whatnot will be given in wine from that. But also, so the problem is that once the rewards run out in a year, then what happens with the wine? Well, the idea is we're going to be bringing out this collateralization platform, because I think with the MIM FUD last week, I personally don't have a problem with MIM. I think it's strong backing. I think they have plenty of coins that are backing it that have nothing to do with Wonderland and time. So the backing is strong. It's collateralized. So I don't really have a problem with it. I don't think there's any problem with it, but maybe it's a good opportunity to pivot, because we're going to do lending and borrowing anyway. It's probably a good opportunity to pivot to lending and borrowing, but also our own collateralization platform where we implement our own collateralized stablecoin using, Grape and Wine and the LPs as some of the backing, and then also some other, normal coins, other stable coins, other, AVAX, it's probably Bitcoin, wrapped Bitcoin, etc. Some of the big coins as a backing for it as well. And into that, we'll probably do something similar to which is the, bonding mechanism on that as well, where you can bond your LPs and get a discount on that in or whatever I'm still working on the name of our collateralized stablecoin, but the platform will come first in the next sort of month or 2 months. That's part of the next goal of the protocol expansion, and that will add sustainability to the protocol as well, because the high APRs are not really sustainable long term. They either get eaten up by high TVL because people see the APRs, they come in with a lot of TVL to capture it, and then the APRs drop, obviously. So we want to keep the APRs kind of where they are now, I guess, to a sustainable level, 5%. Also, and if we loop in with other protocols as well, we can boost that. With our collateralization protocol, we'll add some use case to our LPs, to our Grape and Wine tokens, and you'll be able to collateralize them to generate a new stable coin that you can then use as a normal stable coin. In other platforms, we'll be doing cross-chain with that. We'll be partnering with other lending platforms as well to be able to use that stable coin elsewhere. Also on Curve, do a pool there so that you can trade with other stable coins directly. And that's part of the roadmap. Longer term is to implement as in yield strategies of that. So we do collateralization with the Grape and the Wine to make a collateralized stable coin, and then we can do other things like auto repaying loans on that using yielding strategies. So it's interest-free loans. We can do cross-chain with that stable coin, similar to MIM, similar to DAI. And we can use the treasury. We can build the treasury with that as well to invest in other protocols and generate revenue that way as well. So there's a lot of different moving parts to this, and a lot of things we can do in the future with it as well. eventually, one thing that I'd really love to do is card payments, but using your credit rather than having to sell the token to buy something on the card, which I think most platforms right now, if you want to use your card to buy something with crypto, well, you have to actually sell the crypto, or it auto converts it for you. Oh, maybe we have to have to hurry up here. Yeah, so we basically long-term goal, I want to make a card where you can use your credit, your borrowed credit from your collateralized coins as payment. So you don't have to actually sell your coins to use them. And that means that you don't have to pay capital gains on them, and you can still capture the upside of those coins as well. So that's long term. But to do that, we'll obviously need to partner with a card provider. We'll need to set up a proper company and do KYC and things like that. So it'll have to be kind of separate, but it'll always tie in with the wine and the grape as well. So that's part of the sustainability plan. As part of the sustainability plan as well is the investing in other protocols using the treasury to have some revenue streams that are not tied directly to this platform, which means that diversifying is always best. We can build revenue streams that can help this protocol. If we need to buy back Grape below peg, we can definitely do that then, and same as wine as well. So that's the important thing. Just reading some of the comments. Yeah, so definitely, yeah. Part of our focus is definitely creating demand for grape, and the same as wine, so that the emission schedule doesn't outpace the demand for the coin, which will in turn keep it above the peg and keep the rewards going. So that's part of the whole idea of partnerships, looping in rewards and boosting APRs and things like that. And also actually using them for collateralization and lending and borrowing. And because we're pegged to min, we can do that. It's a little bit easier than doing it, say we peg to AVAX. It's quite volatile. I mean, grape's quite volatile as well at this stage because it is quite new. But over time, it will steady out. Marketing wise, I'm doing marketing all the time, really. Videos coming out every week with new YouTubers in the space, mainly in the Toonfork space, but also in crypto in general. Partnering with some Twitter influencers to get the word out there. We're partnering with, as I mentioned before, with other groups, other protocols to do giveaways and cross promotions. And so that's going to continue every week, basically. And I'm thinking we're going to do some Twitch stuff as well, where we basically donate to Twitch streamers to shout out the project, show the returns you can get and whatnot, spread the word. If you guys have any, other places we should advertise, other places we should promote, market, definitely open to suggestions. I encourage it even. Just please leave it in the suggestions chat in the channel. I read all the suggestions, so let me know you have anything you want to improve the protocol. I'm definitely open to it, very receptive. This is a community-run project, so especially now that we're going to move into the snapshot voting as well, most things will be. I mean, it's not efficient to have to vote on literally every decision. So I'm going to, still direct the project. But in terms of big decisions like where should money be invested from the treasury, how we should partner with different projects, and big feature updates and things like that will always be put to a vote for the wine shareholders. So in the, I don't know, there was one question about selling 20% of the grapes rewarded in the strategy in the first zone strategy. Okay. Yeah, the 20% grapes. If you sell. To do this, you'd need to be in the vineyard to do it, because then you would sell 20% of the grapes and you'd manually compound, and then you'd keep it in MIM, I guess, or some other stable coin for when, I guess, we drop below peg or near peg, that you can then come in and buy it. But if you're in Beefy or Yield Wolf, it will just compound 100% of your rewards, which is obviously a very optimal strategy to compound everything, because it will increase the total liquidity of both pools. And that's important for protocol health. It's important for growing the system, especially at this early stage. It's this whole platform is more of a yield generator. It's a yield generator. So it takes, you can come in for the quick genesis, and a lot of people do that. They just go from genesis to genesis. But you always have to stay on top of things. Then there's a lot more work. You have to always be on the lookout. You have to always daily, you have to manage your funds daily, basically. And so if you're here for a long-term thing, it's easier just to leave it in, compound it nonstop, and over time, over a long period of time, you generally always get a very good return, especially with compounding interest. And you also save yourself the stress of having to manage your funds daily. So that's kind of like the idea of the whole idea of the platform anyway, is like a longer term yield generation thing. But that's why we're going to be, but obviously it's not sustainable long term, because it's highly high daily APRs are not sustainable long term. You can see it in all the DAOs. You can see it in all the other term forks, especially Basis Cash is a year old and it's only lasted 6 months. So in other words, we have to do something to keep the protocol going longer term after the rewards finish. And that's was the plan from day one, to implement a lending and borrowing on top of that, which is a very sustainable model in DeFi, because everybody always needs lending and borrowing, no matter what, and that can last a long term. So that's where we'll be heading. And obviously we'll do some fun stuff, like some GameFi stuff, some NFT stuff as well, and keep the community engaged on that. And also keep another use case for grape and wine there as well. So yeah, if you, at the moment, we're still at $5 on grapes, so we're still 5 times above peg, which is actually pretty decent considering it's we're into Epoch 70 now. I guess it's because the emissions have been quite low, the emission percentage, I mean. The wine rewards go for a whole year, and so we'll be implementing the lending and borrowing platform in the next couple of months, and that will have another token implemented. Obviously it's going to have the stable coin itself implemented as another coin, but then also a rewards token for that as well. So that's coming. That's basically the next big feature update will be that, and the NFTs will come before that as it's like a VIP card access to the future of Grape. I don't know if you have any other questions. I guess posted in the Zoom chat or the AMA questions Discord. I think that's all I had to cover at the moment. Yeah, the NFT drop at the moment is only for people staking in the winery with one wine. But it's subject to change. We there may be some discounts or something for other LPs or whatnot. Because we want to give wine holders the exclusive benefit here, but obviously LPs are very important for the protocol and very but if you're in the wine LP right now, the winery stakers with at least one wine are getting a NFT for sure, and we'll work on how to reward the rest of the people in the LPs. So we're still working on some art for that, and should have some art for that in the next week or so that we can show you guys. There'll be different tiers with we'll announce. Well, I'll show you. Everybody's going to see that art first, and then we'll announce some more details about the NFT drop and what it's going to do in the future as well, the benefits it will give and whatnot. For a buyback price for wine, the treasury is building funds now. I think it's got about 40,000 MIM in there. So we'll be putting to a vote soon where some of that should be invested. Some of it needs to be kept for marketing and promotions, obviously, and we may also want to keep some keep to buy back grape if need be, and wine as well if need be. So we're going to have a balance there all the time in a MIM format, stable format, so that we can deploy it when we need to deploy it as quick as possible. But also we want to lock some up in another protocol or something like that as an investment to generate some yield, basically, some revenue. Any other questions? So anyway, next week I plan to have the raffle integrated on the site completely by next week. Multi-sig. Yeah, there's a multi-sig on the Dev and the DAO wallet. Team issues. Is that our team or someone else's team? I don't think there's any issues on our team. The Asgard team. One of them left. I think it was Thor. Left. I don't know if he was the dev or I'm not sure his position. Yeah, Mimir left. I think for a totally different reason. Because he was doxxed and he wanted to leave to regulations. Yeah, due to regulations, to not have to get in trouble, I guess, because this space is, I guess, like kind of a gray area, really. but Odin is pretty sure the main dev there anyway. And he's obviously staying. He's the main guy there, and will continue to develop the project from here on out. So I don't think there's a problem. The market panics, especially this market is very panicky. We saw it this week. You saw it with the Harry thing as well. I guess I'll address that as well. The Harry, the guy from Tomb, the original Tomb, he bought it from the original developers or whatever. He said he's going to crack down on some other Tomb forks. So because there's a lot of rugs, and that's great. If they're rugs, they should definitely be pursued, and there should be some sort of repercussions for that. Absolutely. I believe we're a completely legitimate Tomb fork. You could say basis cash fork because that's really the original one. And $. The code we forked is obviously MIT licensed, so it's completely open source. We have the legal ability to fork that code directly, and as long as we acknowledge the license, as long as we show the license, which we have, there's no legal precedent to sue anyone for using an MIT licensed code. But we're gonna I've obviously sent an email to them to hopefully not have any bad blood, obviously. But yeah, we're doing something different anyway. Like, we're not just a standard Tomb fork. We're going to be branching out into lending and borrowing, which is a totally different thing than Tomb does anyway. So, I think we're we're totally fine here. It's MIT licensed code, so you can't backdate that. For tax, I actually removed the tax code completely from the Grape token, so we won't do a tax on that. It's a bit of a vulnerability to have tax code there anyway. But we'll be generating revenue through the investments on the DAO fund, and through the new collateralization platform we have. We'll have obviously a little fee to make a loan, and a liquidation fee as well. And obviously there'll be an emissions schedule from a different token there. And then there'll be bonding as well on LPs with a bit of a discount, similar to my. Yeah, so when Asgard launches their game, we'll be working closely with Asgard anyway. We chat to them often, and if anything new comes up where they launch, we'll obviously be working closely with them to get some good deals, some good exclusive deals for the wine holders and our LPs, and share our community with their community as well. So there'll be a good partner going forward. Other vulnerabilities, not that I know of. I mean, the main one was the gatekeeper issue in Tomb, the Tomb, to do with the tax, which we removed completely anyway. And now that I've renounced the contract ownership, you can't mint the Grape token. So that's another common, I guess, rug, even though the gatekeeper probably wasn't a rug anyway, but vulnerability, so to say. In terms of other vulnerabilities, one of the things we do want to do is integrate Chainlink oracles. We have to work out exactly how we can do that in our treasury. If not, though, it will definitely be integrating Chainlink oracles into the collateralization platform, because that's absolutely necessary for that. to manage pricing correctly for liquidations and whatnot, pricing and safety ratios, so to say. The Chainlink oracles, there is a monthly fee. I've already spoken to Chainlink actually, already in touch with them and already have a group chat with them. So yeah, we're already it's already there in the roadmap. And we're just working on now integrating it basically, and how we can integrate it into this platform if possible. But if not, at least into the collateralization platform. There is a monthly fee for the Oracle. It's very cheap though, surprising. It's only like $75 a month. So it's not a problem at all. Especially what it will give us. It'll give us, strong reliability on the pricing. And as well, if we work with Chainlink closely, they'll cross promote us as well, which is pretty insane considering Chainlink is huge. But yeah, that's coming in the future. A lot of things coming in the future. Yeah. Well, we're going to obviously be working with, talking to other platforms, possibly Pangolin as well. I know Joe's obviously like the premier one on AVAX. Kind of has some issues on mobile, which are kind of annoying. But yeah, if we can branch out as well, which we will, like we're all going to be working with whoever we can work with basically to give us a bonus on rewards for our community and cross promote with their community, etc. So that's obviously one of the main things going forward that we're going to continue to do. Cross chain, you go. What do you mean? Yeah, because we don't want to branch into a new chain too soon, then we dilute things way too quick. I think Elk is a decent like a cross chain exchange as well. I've used it to bridge tokens over. I like that they allow you to sell some of the token for gas on the new chain, which is always so annoying when you bridge and they don't give you any gas on that chain. That's just it's so annoying. And you get stuck on the chain. So yeah, I guess part of we don't want to branch out too soon to dilute our impact. Basically, we want to have a strong foundation on AVAX first before we move on to other platforms, other chains. So yeah, we'll be building out the lending and borrowing platform, collateralization platform on AVAX first. Get a strong TVL there, a strong backing on the stable coin there, and then once we do that, it's perfect opportunity to move cross chain with the liquidity we have. And then cross chain, once you go on one cross chain, once you have a strong foundation on one chain, it's much easier to go to the next chain. You already have a strong foundation. There's already people in your community that are on that chain as well, like people on multiple chains, obviously. So yeah, so that's definitely something we'll be doing in the future, but we'll have to build out the platform foundation on AVAX first. Yeah, exactly. Will there be tiers for the amount of wine you hold? Tiers for the amount. We'll be doing. There'll be tiers for the NFTs that will have some different abilities on them, some different access to different things, some unique, possibly staking opportunities on that. We want to be careful and not like, you know, sell a security or anything like that. But there will be at least access to GameFi stuff with that, with different tiers. I mean, we're already talking to other projects, I guess you could say. The Spartan is one. The Miniverse is another one. And I mean, the partnerships are something we'll be doing non-stop basically, but we don't want to just have stupid partnerships where they don't really do anything. We'd rather have strong partnerships with good projects that are going to be around for a while and actually offer some unique benefit to you know, our community and their community. That's why the Asgard one is good, because it's, you know, you can loop your rewards in and boost your amp, because if you have WAMP, wrapped amp, you can't really do anything with it. So it was a good opportunity for them to come in, stake, earn some wine, and then you can pledge that wine and get more amp. So things like that is what we'll be focusing on. Things like unique opportunities where it brings, like, I don't think I've seen another Toon Fork partner with a DAO to do that. Yeah, pledging is bonding. Yeah. In their system, yeah. Trust the one-to-one backing of MIM. Well, MIM is collateralized, so it's not and it's not managed by a central company like Tether or even Circle on USDC. It's MIM is basically the same as DAI. In other words, it's collateralized, and so if the value of that collateral drops, you will obviously liquidate that position, and that's about it. So there's not really an issue with MIM backing, so to say. You can look at what it's backed by on Ethereum. It's backed by many different coins, some stables as well. You know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, obviously, and then on AVAX, it's they removed the ability to use Memo as a backing, like I don't know, a week or so ago, anyway. And then the rest is obviously, you know, in LPs like AVAX and Joe and interest bearing things like that. So they have very strong backing. It has nothing to do with Wonderland or time. But yeah, in other words, if need be, we can obviously change what we're pegged to. We can change to USDC if we need. But the problem is that if we do, like, I'd rather not do that if we don't have to, because we'd have to create new LP pools and we'd have to migrate everyone over in doing that. For us to do it, it would only require us to deploy a new Oracle contract, which isn't a big deal. But the moving of the pools is kind of annoying for people. So if we don't have to do it, I'd rather not do it. And I don't think MIM has an issue really at all. And, you know, as well with MIM, the thing is, if it drops below peg, which it kind of has a little bit, you know, 98, 99 on the day when we're a little bit low. But the thing is that people that have taken out loans, you know, traders that have taken out loans on it will be incentivized to pay back those loans when MIM is under peg, because they'll be getting that discount basically. And that's a fantastic opportunity for them if you borrowed to pay it back and get a discount. So that brings it back up to peg pretty quick. And, you know, you saw that like there was basically one day where MIM had a bit of lost its peg for a little bit, for like a couple seconds, even went to like 80. Mainly just bots trading it though. And then, it stayed around 98, 99. And now it's basically the same. Like all the stables trade within a range of each other, 1-2%. You look at DAI is like basically always, 1 or 2% different to USDC, Tether, so yeah, we can change it if we need to, but it'll be a bit of a pain for the users to have to swap the LP pools. So we only do it if we need to. But that's why we were going to do the lending and borrowing and keep the MIM peg. But, it's kind of a good pivot, a good opportunity to just be like, well, let's just create our own collateralized stablecoin then, and not have to rely on MIM as a stable then, even though I don't think MIM is a problem. So that's what we'll be doing. Yeah, 2% on 10 mil is pretty good. What's that, 200 grand? Yeah, so that's how it rings back to peg on that. So I don't think MIM's a problem. Yeah, so I don't know if you have any other questions, post it in the chat. Other than that, I don't know how long we've been running for. The bonds is in the G bond of the protocol. Is that what you're talking about? With the problem with the tomb fork, or I will not call it tomb fork, algorithmic stablecoin protocol. The problem with it is that it's all a manual. It's kind of a manual thing. You have to rely on the community. You have to rely on people to actually buy the bonds to bring it back up to peg. So that's one mechanism we'll be using, is the default mechanism of the bonds. And then once we're below peg, emissions of Grape stop, and you can trade in your Grape for G bonds. And then when we're above peg, you can trade that back for Grape and for a little bonus as well, depending on how long you hold it. But we're not going to rely 100% on that, because it is a manual thing. So we'll also be doing things like we're doing burns from the DAO. We're doing the weekly raffle, which is a burn as well, most of the time. And also, if need be, there'll be a small portion of the treasury that can be used to buy back some of the Grape below peg. And then obviously we'll be implementing actual use cases for Grape as well to keep the demand up. As I was talking before, collateralization, could use it in a game or two. Miniverse wanted to do that with Grape and Wine, use it in their game if they bring it over to AVAX. So there's other things we'll be doing other than just relying on the bonds. But the bonds, if you get them, the thing with the bonds is you can't sell them, you can't move them. That's part of the token contract, is you can't transfer them. Yeah, so the bonds are literally just to be traded back to the treasury in return for Grape. That's how the default algorithm works. Yeah, anything else? So I guess we'll be doing AMAs weekly, at least, maybe more often if there's something to address in the week. And the times will be different. I don't know, I just wanted to get something out this week to discuss some things, go over what we've done and what we're going to be doing next, now that we're in a position where we've kind of gone through the starting period, and the hype period of the tomb fork, or the fork, so to say. And now we can go into the future of what we're actually going to do to make us different, I guess, to make us more sustainable as well. So yeah, thanks for joining. I'm pretty sure I recorded. I hope it says it's recording. So we'll be adding this recording to the Discord. And yeah, thanks for joining. And any suggestions, just leave it in the suggestions chat. And you have questions for your next AMA, for the next AMA, just put it in the AMA questions thing. If it's a basic question that's already, I guess, in the docs, I'll link the docs. But if it's something that's more, that kind of is better if I explain it, then obviously I'll leave it for the AMA. Yeah, so thanks for joining. Okay, I'll end it now.